Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We still have a few people who are joining and will be joining. We're right at 10 o'clock and we do want to start today's program. So on behalf of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Chi Omega Omega Chapter, we welcome everyone to today's Goal Setting Preparing for the Next Steps workshop. My name is Risa Lanier and I am the chairman of #CAP, which stands for College Admissions Process. And today we are partnering with HBCU for Life to present to you and bring to you this very interactive and engaging workshop that is designed to help our high school juniors prepare for their senior year of high school and our high school graduating seniors prepare for their first year of college. We have two amazing presenters here today who will walk you through the steps that you need to do, things that you need to think about as you prepare to move on to the next steps. So welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who are joining our #CAP and HBCU for Life programs for the very first time, #CAP, which stands for College Admissions Process, is designed to help our high school students move seamlessly through the college admissions process. We know that this can be a daunting, or college application process, which can be a daunting and anxiety-ridden process, not just for our scholars, but also for their parents too. And so we bring to you every month experts in subject areas that are pertinent to each area of your college application process. Over this past school year, we have brought you financial aid workshops, scholarship workshops. We've led you through an HBCU college tour where you had an opportunity to hear from recruiters for HBCUs to help you make the college choice, to make your decisions for your college choice. We also walked you through how to write a great personal statement. You got community service hours by attending our MLK Day event in January. And today we are going to help you goal set because you're almost there. This is the last semester of this school year. So seniors, you are getting those award letters in, you are getting those response letters in. And so I'm sure you're thinking, well, how do I prepare? What does my freshman year of college look like? Juniors, you're getting ready to sit for that SAT testing very soon. And so you're thinking to yourselves as you move through this testing process, what does senior year look like? How do I get started? And that's what we're here to help you with on today. So we're excited to have all of you here with us on today, and we're going to start our program. I'll share my screen again. So we'll walk through today's program, which again will be very interactive. But before I do that, if you are a student, whether you are formally enrolled in #CAP or not, what I want you to do is to make sure that you put student behind your name so that we'll know all of the students that we're talking to here on today. So I'll give you a moment to do that as I share my screen. Just simply change your name to include the word student behind your name so that we'll know that you are a student. Because it's you that we want to target today. It's you that we're going to be talking to today. And our #CAP seniors, there's a part where you will be participating in today's program, passing on those nuggets of information to your junior class peers. So get ready for that. All right, pull up our presentation for today. And as you all are changing your names, we're going to move into our agenda for today. So we already talked about the welcome. The next thing that we'll do, as we always do, is a community builder or icebreaker just to get your mind working. We'll move into that in just a moment. And then we'll move into our junior class presentation. Again, we have a fantastic presenter here for you to presenter here today, and I'm excited to hear what she has for all of you. And then we'll move into our peer advice section, and that's where we'll be asking our senior class some questions to help their junior counterparts prepare for their senior year. We will then move into our senior class presentation. We do have a survey that we are going to ask all of you to participate in. We do want to capture your feedback for this event. We'll take a look ahead at our our upcoming programs for the rest of this school year, and then you'll hear closing remarks. All right. So with that, we will move into our icebreaker, which is a goal-setting word search. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Dion Redfield, who will explain for you here today what our icebreaker is, how to participate, and the top 5 winners today will be receiving a gift card. So that should get you a little excited and get that blood flowing. Now, for all of you who are here on the call and on the workshop, the icebreaker, however, is just for the students. So don't get too excited now, parents. It's just for our students. Okay, Ms. Redfield.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I feel like Vanna White here. We have a quick, fun icebreaker for the #CAP students, as Ms. Risa said, and the other students that are on the call. So we have a goal-setting word search for you all to participate in. I love word searches. Goal setting are preparing action plans of things you want to accomplish. Number 2, developing strategies on how to achieve those goals. Number 3, you want to create a vision on how you want to implement your goals that you set for yourself. And number 4, it involves personal development. So students, in the word search, which will be on the screen in a few minutes, we need you to look for at least 3 or more words or phrases in the word search that are close to your goals for the semester or for the entire year. This is a timed activity. You will have 90 seconds to search, so we got to be quick, and put all your answers in the chat. The first 5 people with 3 or more will win a prize. We will announce at the end of the second workshop. Thank you. Get on your mark, get ready. Let's go. "27 seconds.
Remember, this is for the students only.
So everybody, your 90 seconds is up. So we need to have the full words. I will go through the chat while the presentation is going, and we will see who our wonderful winners are. Thank you.
All right. Gotta be quick, students. So as Ms. Dion said, we will go back through the chat to see who our top first 5 winners were that got at least 3 or more of the phrases that were that was in that word search. All right. All right, so let's move on to to our first topic here today, and this is for our senior class. On today, we are excited to have Miss Carol A. Jacobs, who will be to our junior class, who will be presenting to our junior class. Carol Jacobs is the Director of Education at the Andaleo Institute, a nonprofit organization for Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago. Carol is also the project director of TRIO Upward Bound, a federally funded program preparing first-generation students for college. And after spending nearly 25 years in education, Carol knows that pursuit of education is the key to a successful life. Ms. Carol has presented at various workshops and conferences around the city. And in 2015, she was selected to present a workshop for graduating seniors at the White House for First Lady Michelle Obama's Beating the Odds Summit. That's amazing. Prior to this, Carol was the college and career advisor for the TRIO Talent Search Program that was housed at Corliss Early College STEM High School in Chicago. She was also an education specialist at Trinity Higher Education Corporation for 4 years before becoming a college and career coach, and then promoted to Special Projects Manager for the Office of Career and College Preparation in the Chicago Public Schools. While she was there, she planned and organized yearly spring break tours for the students, college tours. She managed the financial aid labs for the Chicago Public Schools District, and she co-authored the Time to Get Serious program, which offers graduating seniors vital information before they head off to college. And in addition to all of this education experience, Ms. Carol is a certified financial aid consultant through the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. She has received certificates of completion from the Afrocentric Urban Community Outreach at Trinity United Church of Christ, college admission counseling through the Academy of College Admission Counseling at Elmhurst College, and budget management and statutory requirements through the TRIO training program with the U.S. Department of Education. She's also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ms. Carol holds a BA and MA in English from Chicago State University, and she's currently seeking an MA degree in education leadership through an online program at Penn State University. We are excited to have someone with so much experience in what we are talking about here today, helping our students move from high school to post-secondary education. So I'm going to get out of the way so that our junior class can hear from Ms. Jacobs. All right, Ms. Jacobs.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you. I see some familiar names and faces, so I'm happy to see them this morning. I'm going to pull up my screen and share my screen, and we're going to get started. Okay, if everybody can see that, yes, hopefully, yes. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to talk about planning your future for the junior class, and this is to increase your awareness of what tasks must be completed in high school. In other words, to get you college ready before you head off into even start your senior year. So I'm just going to give you an overview of some basic things. And this handout will be available for my Greek sisters with AKA. So this is just the basic information to get you college ready. You know that there are several ways to get your degrees and a lot of information. Okay, so first let's talk about an associate degree. An associate degree is a 2-year degree, Associate of Arts or Associate of Science. So it'll be AA or an AS. It can also be used to enter the workforce or transfer to complete a 4-year degree. If you're getting a bachelor's degree, that is 4-year degree, some 5-year programs. Bachelor's is also called the Baccalaureate of Art degree in Arts, which is a BA, or a BS, which is Baccalaureate in Science, or other specific fields like fine arts, social work, and architecture. If you're going to get your graduate degree, which I strongly suggest that you do, That is an additional 1 to 2 years or more of study to obtain your master's in arts or master of science. Now you're going to need an additional 4 years to obtain a doctoral degree. And I like how it's put in here, this is not a medical degree. A medical degree would move over into the professional degree, which is an additional 3 more years beyond your bachelor's of art or your science. So professional degrees are law, dentistry, medicine. And if you're thinking about a medical degree, it's going to require a few more years of study and in an internship. So what we're going to look at is what you need to do and how you need to prepare to get ready. I love this college checklist, okay? I love this college checklist because you really got to give serious consideration to what you're looking at. So you really got to look at what you're looking for and what fits for you. And I need to keep saying that. So any parents who are on here as well, I'm talking to the students. We want to make sure what fits for them. So what type of college might fit best for you? 4-year, 2-year, community college. If you want to go to a private institution or a public institution, or if based on your religion, that's specific. If you want to go in-state, you want to go out of state, if you want to be close to home, you want to do minority serving college or an HBCU, historically Black college, like Spelman or Morehouse or Clark Atlanta. You might want to do the women's college that is actually Spelman, or you want to do co-ed. You might want to stay again closer to home and do a state college. And then you also have to understand that when you see urban, that's city. If you see rural, that's a small town. And then you also want to look at what size college you're looking at. Do you want something small? Do you want something what they call, what is on here that says biggish, or you want something huge? So depending on what you want to do, you need to look at this. Like I said, this will be available. You need to have your checklist ready to say exactly what you want to do. Now, the reason I specified that this is for you students and not your parents, I know parents have wonderful big dreams for you as well. But at the end of the day, if you go someplace that is not satisfactory to you, you won't do well. And it'll be a waste of time and it'll be a waste of money. So I ask that you take in consideration, you sit down with your folks and you say, listen, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and this is what I want to do. This is definitely a family affair. Now, at the bottom, you see here, there are also some additional websites that you can search to find out more information. It is collegeboard.org, collegedata.com, unigo.com, and collegeconfidential.com. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. And I hope anybody can just click on and answer, only students. Here's the question. If you received your associate degree and you want to attend a 4-year college or university, what year would you be starting at? Any takers?
Trevor says 3rd year.
Awesome. Absolutely right. A lot of people make that mistake and thinking, oh, I don't want to transfer now to a 4-year college because I got to start in as a freshman. No, you will start in your 3rd year. You will have, especially if you get your associate's degree, you will start in your 3rd year and actually concentrating on your major. Thank you, Trevor. That was good. Trevor gets extra points. Okay, now let's look at the criteria, what criteria you want college to include. Now, what I don't want you to say is, I'm looking for a college where my girlfriend is going to, where my boyfriend is going to. I'm looking for a, no. You want to look for college. You want to be specific in what you're looking at other than that. And then most specifically, do you meet the requirements to get into these colleges? Okay. And again, does this college offer the degree you want to pursue? That is most important. And that's part of like your checklist, what you're looking for. Just don't go to a college because it might sound like it's fun and it's a party school. You want to make sure two things. You are going to get your degree. And so you want to make sure that you meet the requirements, and you want to make sure it has what you want to pursue. But here are other things you're looking at too. Do you like the school spirit? Have you been there? Do you like the Greek life? Okay. Do you want to be in a specific honors program? Are you looking at a low faculty to student ratio? That's an important thing. So you want to know how many students are in that classroom from your freshman all the way through your senior year. You want to ask, because freshman year, you're usually in a lot of lecture halls. There are a lot of students depending on the size of your school. So you want to make sure that you have equal time that you can talk with your faculty, with your advisor, and with the counselors. You want to make sure it's tutoring available. Do I need extra help? You're also looking to see, is there a career center? That is very important, because you want to look to see after you graduate, how fast can you start your career? That also has a lot to do when you are looking at your financial aid. How fast can I get a job so I can start paying off those loans? Amen. So you want to take that in consideration. What's the student life like? Okay. And what specific majors do they offer? But most importantly, what financial aid is available? Okay. You want to look at that as well. I'm going to give you a little extra tip. When you're looking at what you want to do and what colleges are included, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it when we talk about doing campus visits, which is coming up, ask them for the yearbook. You want to see what campus life is really like. When they're promoting the school, they will have, my sisters and brothers, they will have one specific picture, and it's a lot of people sitting up under a tree and they're all smiling. And you'll see a couple of African-American students on there. But the funny thing is, you'll see those same people on other schools' websites. So how many schools are these kids actually going to? You want to see their yearbook. You want to see if you're in their yearbook and how you are participating in the yearbook. A couple of things too that students always tell me. What's the dining like? What is it like to eat? Now, we always joke and we always talk about, and you'll hear this when you get into your senior year, but I'm telling you now, you always hear about the college 30 or the college 20. And that's what they say, the weight you can possibly gain. I always laugh and say, if you're going to an HBCU, add 20 more pounds to that. Okay, the food is good down south. But you want to see what the dining options are like. A lot of campuses now have food courts. So you want to see what is available with them as well. You want to know if there's off-campus housing once you become a junior or senior, if it's allowed after your freshman year. So you want to look at that. You want to look at work study. And you want to look at, of course, the athletics. Okay? So this is what I need you to do. You're going to put three things together. Your first category is sure thing colleges. These are colleges that you know you're going to get into. They're guaranteed. You meet all of the requirements, and the college is also considered open admissions. In other words, you can apply. Okay? So you're going to look at those you're going to write those three sure thing colleges that you know you can go to. The next set you're going to look at are the colleges that are called match. Okay, you meet most of the admissions requirements. Okay, so you want to list those, and then I strongly suggest that you look at reach colleges. You've got some of the requirements, but you may be looking at the cost, or there may be something that you have to do extra. You want to start looking at those for sure and take a look. So these are three categories that you should do as you're preparing going into your senior year. And then you circle the ones that you know that you really want to visit or that you really want to do more searching about. So let's talk about visiting campuses. Well, that's kind of been a little slow because of COVID. And these are some of the things that you want to look at. And let me just say, you also want to check COVID requirements. What is required now with COVID-19? Does it have a mask mandate? Do I have to be vaccinated? Do I have to have a booster? Do I have to show proof of vaccination when I go? This is an additional thing that you have to now look at because of the situation we are in. So when you're looking at this and you're going on the campus tours, again, you want to check out the style of the resident hall. Everybody wants to see it. Let me tell you, the residence halls do not look like they did on Different World. They are smaller than that. Okay, so everybody's not going to get Whitney's room. All right, so you want to take a look at them. I always joke and say they are 5 by 5, and anyone who stayed on campus will agree with me. So you want to look and see what they look like. You want to also find out, spend some time in the student union. You want to look at the student center board and see what is offered, what kind of tutoring, what kind of programs are offered, who you can talk to, programs that you can meet everybody. You want to explore the town, okay, and see what that's like, the surrounding areas. If you're able to have a car, you want to find out about parking and is that extra in your tuition? You want to look at the library, okay? You want to eat in the dining hall, or you want to see what they have at the different food courts. You want to shop in the bookstore. Everybody goes to the bookstore. And then you want to see what else they have. Do they have a fitness center? And then you want to ask specific questions. Now, you see on the side, it says the best and the worst times to visit. But since COVID, this has changed a little bit. So it says the best time to visit colleges is during the week, Monday through Thursday, when campus is abuzz with students. Yes, that is correct. They say the worst time to visit is during final weeks, finals, weekends, holidays, move-in days, and graduation. Yes. The one thing I am going to change when they say summer visits will not be a true reflection. Well, because of COVID, there are more people who are on campus now. And if there aren't a lot of people, that gives you your distancing where you can go, maybe sit in on a summer class, ask questions, and you can visit more. Okay. I also recommend that if they have it available, that you do a virtual tour. At the bottom, there are 2 websites that I really like. You can do campustours.com and uuniversity.com, or you can ask specifically to the school that you're interested. Do they offer campus tours? Now, I want to just talk about, you may know what you're looking for in college, but what are colleges looking for you? Okay, of course, your transcripts. Now, understand on your transcripts, if your attendance is on that transcript, they are looking at your attendance too. I love that. And here's the reason why I like it, because it tells the colleges, if you're not coming to school in high school, what are you going to do when you are on your own out there all by yourself in college? Okay, that gives them an indication on whether or not you're the right person for this particular college. But you also want to start looking at rigorous curriculum, things, AP courses, dual enrollment, anything that's going to help your GPA and your class rank. That's what colleges are looking for. Again, your test scores. Now, because of COVID again, that has changed a little bit too. So I'm going to give you a website. It's called fairtest.org. On this website, it will show you what colleges are now using your ACT and your SAT scores for placement. Okay, and some don't even want it at all, but they're looking at it. So you want to take a look at those. You want to look at fairtest.org. Again, fairtest.org. Recommendation letters. If you need that extra push, let's see you're very interested in that Reach College. A recommendation letter can go a long way. However, please reach out to people who you know. Not someone who just has doctor behind their name or someone that you think will give you the boost. Somebody who knows you very well. And give them a deadline on when you need it, and also ask for a copy of the recommendation letter, okay? You want to also list what you do other than going to school or your extracurricular activities. What are you involved in that can balance out your schoolwork? You want to take a look at, you want them to take a look at that too, because colleges are looking for well-rounded students, okay? So you want to include all of that in there. And then they're also looking for essays, okay? Now, if they're looking for essays, make sure, okay, that you don't overspeak or you don't underspeak. And what do I mean? You know, what do I mean by that? When you're looking at essays, you want to make sure that number one, you're saying just enough, you're following the prompts that they give you, okay? Now, prompts, in case you don't know, prompts are what are offered to you when they want to find out how you write and they want to find out how you think. So you want to answer the questions clearly, okay? Keeping focus, being specific and personal, all right? Don't simply say what you think the colleges want to hear, okay? And essays that are creative and unique stand out best to the admissions personnel. Don't be too wordy, okay? Be concise and to the point, okay? Any unnecessary words that you really don't understand that you think you're just adding in, get rid of them. Proofread, have someone else read as well, and do spell check, okay? So another thing that I'm going to ask that you do is when you're writing your essay, do not begin with, hello, my name is, and I go to, okay? The reason is you already have that on your application. They know who you are and they know where you're from and they know what high school you go to. Maybe start out asking a question of them and then writing your essay, or be clever. There was a wonderful story that I heard in one of my classes where the young man sent his letter with his essay and he sent a shoebox, okay? Inside the shoebox, he had a shoe. And he started out his essay saying, now that I have my foot in the door, let me share some information with you, okay? Now you don't have to go that far, but you want to do something that's going to catch their attention immediately and just kind of give them an idea of who you are and your writing styles, okay? Now, if you're thinking about transferring once you go in, especially if you're going from a 2-year to a 4-year, make sure you have all your accreditation, make sure you have all your paperwork and everything ready for you to transfer. Also, if you get to the school and you don't like it and you want to transfer, be very specific, students, about what you want to do and why you want to transfer, because this can add up to money that I know right now you all are not independently wealthy, and this can also, you can also lose time, all right? So you want to be very specific on what you're doing for that, okay? Let's go on. Let's take a look at some other things here. So let's just kind of hone in on 11th grade, how you can prepare and to get ready. You want to communicate with your counselors and your parents and your teachers. Listen, college is a family decision, okay? But you want to make sure that you have good communication with your counselor. Do you have all the credits that you need to graduate? Do you have, is there anything additional? If you need to take a rigorous course, is this the best time to look at dual credit or AP, okay? Because remember, I told you earlier that colleges are also looking for rigorous coursework as well. So you want to have good conversations with that. Again, you want to have that conversation with your parent, telling them, this is what I want to do. This is the college that I think will work for me, that will fit me, that will match me, okay? And you want to have that nice conversation, all right? Yes, attend college fairs and college nights. I know they are not as widespread as they used to because of COVID, but if you can find one and you find out that the college that you're interested is going to be there, I strongly suggest you do that. And I know a lot of schools are also having college nights as well. Okay, you want to prepare for that SAT and taking the PSAT in October. You want to kind of get that information. And I think most of you all have taken your PSAT this October. So you want to take a look at what your scores look like and how you can improve them when you get ready for your SAT and your ACT. I strongly suggest that you do Khan Academy and take a test. Study for your SAT and your ACT. Khan Academy is a good thing. I like when it goes back and it tells you what you need to work on and why you selected that question, and maybe you need to look at it a different way. So make sure that you are registered for that SAT. And then again, also look at fairtest.org to see if your college is using it as your admissions or using it as placement in school. Okay. Then also it has seek leadership opportunities. So you want to join clubs, you want to be members of different organizations. Okay. I know the AKAs have a wonderful organization for teens. I know the Deltas have a wonderful organization, and the other sororities and fraternities. So you want to get involved as much as possible. You want to start working on volunteer hours too, because that gives them an idea of what you do outside of college. And then if you work and have a part-time job, you want to talk about that maybe in your essay, so they know that you can be the kind of student that can work and do that as well, and study as well. And then you want to register for your AP exams if they are applicable. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down because I know we have a wonderful presenter who's going to talk about seniors, but I'm going to stay here with my juniors right now. But seniors, let me tell you, and juniors, for your senior year, I like when it has on here, request copies of your transcripts and your immunization papers, especially if you are going down south. And now because of COVID, you want to make sure you do that. So I just want to add that on there. So colleges expect you to take these classes in high school, okay? 4 years of English, 3 to 4 years of math, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, geometry, trig, or calculus, okay? A science with labs, 3 years, biology, chemistry, earth science, or physics. 3 years, of social studies, US history, US government, geography, or world history. 2 to 3 years of a foreign language, 2 years in fine arts, and now a half a year to 1 year in on computers. Okay, so here's some additional information that I want to give you. I want you to make a college spreadsheet. Okay, and this is for you. Okay, what the college spreadsheet is going to do is help you list everything that you're looking for. You want to have a big spreadsheet to talk about, okay, is this a match school? Is this a reach school? Is this something else that I should be looking at? So you want to prepare that first, okay? You want to talk about what are the favorite things you like about these colleges? So this is what you're going to put on your spreadsheet. And you're going to put on what majors are you interested in that they offer. You want to add that. You want to be able to look at that and share this with your counselor and your parents. You want to look at other activities that you're interested in at these colleges, like clubs, like sports, like the Greek life again, and organizations, okay? Then you want to write about what you least like about the colleges. You want to put that in on your spreadsheet as well. And then you want to add, how much does it cost, okay? What is the tuition and fees, room and board? You want to take a look at each one of those colleges, because that's an important piece as well, to find out what is the cost, what is the cost, what does it look like, what additional financing do I need? And then you want to make sure for each one of these colleges that you're looking at, that financial aid is available. The next thing you want to do is you want to put together an extracurricular sheet. I like this because you want to go from 9th grade to where you are now and going into the 12th grade. You want to list your school activities. You want to list any awards you've received. You want to list any community activities, like I said, your volunteer work, and then any work experience, what you're doing now. You want to list those from 9th grade all the way to 12th grade. Why is this important? This is important because if you need a recommendation and you get ready and you go to someone and you say, I need a recommendation, I'm trying to get into this college, I'm trying to do this. This is what I call a brag sheet, okay? So you want to write down everything that you've been involved in. What I usually do is ask students for a brag sheet, and then I ask them to give me an extracurricular sheet in addition to that. And then what I also ask them is, give me 3 adjectives that describe you. This helps me as the recommender. This helps the recommender. This helps you because it makes you think more about yourself. What 3 things describe you? You want to give that to someone when they're writing your recommendation so they have something to talk about. So they can say, well, in freshman year, she did this, or all 4 years she was involved in cheerleading, or she was involved, or he was involved in this sport. He was involved in basketball. He was on the football team. He was on the chess club. He was in student government. He was highly involved in student government. This gives them something that they can write about, because even somebody who knows you may not know everything that you did in school. So you want to brag about yourself. Okay. So those are the things that I need you to do in addition. Number 1, do your college to-do list. Okay. You want to have that ready. Okay. This is what I like. This is what I want to do, and have that spreadsheet. Okay. You want to think about top 4 criteria to consider for college. Start thinking about that now. Okay. And then you want to talk about things you want to ask about when you go on a college visit. For instance, like I said, ask, can I see your yearbook? See what is really going on and see who is participating in the different activities. Well, that's all I have for now. Okay. And I'd like to open it up for questions.
Any questions, junior class? Now is the time. Now is the time. Any questions on how to best prepare for your senior year?
I have a question.
Sure, Olivia.
So if you're looking to go into law, what courses should I request for my senior year, and what should I prepare for?
Oh, that's a great question. You know what? And I'm going to share this with you because one of my daughters is a lawyer. And what she did was she majored in English. Okay. And I find that with a lot of the students who are looking at law, they major in English because they have a lot of reading to do and a lot of writing to do. And you know what? I always kind of get, I'm leery when I do see pre-law and pre-college, okay, or pre-medicine. I'm sorry, okay, and I'm a little leery of that because it's basically just things additional things you have to read with English and with medicine or biology. So I would say talk to your counselor now about English courses, and you want to look at. Maybe talk to some lawyers and ask them what they majored in the beginning. Start relationships, asking what they did. To have a talk with your counselor to see what the best way to go on that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
And if I can just piggyback on that, I too am a lawyer, and I can tell you that it's funny because I get this question all the time. And I'm going to give you a slightly different advice, having gone through law school. Major in whatever you want to, because when you get to law school, no matter what you majored in, it will not prepare you for law school. I am so sorry to tell you that, but that is the reality. When you get into law school, your very first year of law school, you will have core classes that they will choose for you to help you set up your foundation for learning law. I majored in business because I thought I wanted to be a tax lawyer. I am a criminal prosecutor. I am not a tax lawyer. And even though I majored in business, and even though I majored in business, got to law school. They taught me everything I needed to know. And then I went into criminal law. So even with all of my business background, it didn't matter. So it really doesn't matter. And there's so many fields and so many opportunities available to you when you are a lawyer. You don't actually have to be a practicing lawyer. You can get you can work in some other field and still hold a law degree. So Olivia, major in whatever it is that you want to. Don't worry about, am I prepared for law school? Because you're not. But when you get there, you will work hard and they will prepare you for your career beyond law school.
Yeah, you are so right. Okay, you are so right. I remember my daughter was reading because she was an English major. She had books galore, and then when she got to school, she said, "Okay, I'm gonna throw this all out the window because I have to do this." But she was kind of happy because she never liked to read. Okay, and so she majored in English before that. But yes, definitely. Okay. There are many of us who go into college thinking one way and take it leads you into a totally different turn. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
We do have plenty of questions here in the chat. So we've got one question here from Nikila. Do you know of any college tours that are in person?
Right now, no, keep your eye open. I know that Chicago State had mentioned doing one, but I think that is for their Upward Bound program, but you can check. I know those programs do one. We're actually looking to do one, but not until the summer, because we really want to kind of see how the variant goes and the positivity rates. It's still kind of iffy for us right now, because if you're taking a lot of students, how you social distance, and then checking on what it is in the different states. So I would say keep your ear to the ground and see what's open. Right now, other than the one that, like I said, Chicago State, and the one we're planning hopefully in the summer, I haven't heard of any. But still keep looking.
Another question is, if you aren't involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, will it affect your chances of getting into a college?
No. No. It's though they would like to see well-rounded, but you know what? You could not be an extracurricular because you are doing so much academically, okay, that you're not in there. Or maybe that's just not for you. And that would be something, and I like that question. That would be something you put in your essay. Okay. Just a little bit, talking about, I really didn't have a chance to be involved, or I wasn't involved, or it just wasn't what I wanted to do. But what I do like to do is this. Okay. So no, I don't think that hurts your chances at all, unless you're going for a basketball scholarship and you didn't play basketball. Okay. But I would say, or any other sports. But I would say just generally, no.
Another question is, what should I plan to major in if I'm interested in a career in the medical field? And Nicole, I can tell you this answer is going to be much different from the one that I gave you for law, because there is something that you must major in. Ms. Jacob?
Biology. Okay. Yeah, because you're going to be at it for a little while. I would say major in biology, physics. You got to kind of have that science. Looking for your bachelor, your master's in science, and going on. I would say anything science related, you would look to major on, but make sure that you're good in science. Okay. I so many students, who told me, "Oh, Mrs. Jacobs, I want to be a nurse, but I don't like the sight of blood." Well, then you don't want to be a nurse, or you don't want to be a doctor. So make sure, when you're in that biology class now and seeing what other classes to take, anything in the science field, I would say major in.
Awesome. Would IB credits transfer the same as AP credits?
Hmm. I'm gonna say yes or no. AP, did you have to take the exam? To be quite honest, I don't want to give you any wrong information. I would say check with your counselor if you are taking IB right now and you're taking AP. I would say check, because I really don't have a strong, to be honest, I really don't have a strong answer on that. I've seen them both, and how it was accredited. It was a little strange to me. Let me just say. And I'm hoping that my sister Amanda, who's at City Colleges, will have a better idea about that. And it really depends on the colleges too. I've seen some crazy things, and so I don't want to give you any wrong information, but I would say Amanda would have, by being in one of the city colleges now, would have a stronger idea about that.
You are actually absolutely right that it's going to matter. It's going to depend on the institution. So definitely talk to your counselor. Each institution is a little bit different when it comes to accepting those credits. So when you're looking at colleges, that's a great question to add to the list. How do you guys accept those AP credits versus the IB? Those types of things for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there a website or is there any websites or place that they can find information on what colleges are looking at SAT and ACT scores? And I know we also mentioned that fairtest.org.
Fairtest.org, yeah. And it gives you a list of all the colleges and where they stand on SAT and ACT scores. Again, if they're using them as part of your admissions process, or they're using you to place. I've seen some colleges that say, we're not using this for admissions, but we just want to see what courses we can place you in based on that score. So it's fairtest.org.
And then one final question here we have, is there an expiration date on any scholarships that you earn or receive in your junior year? So if you're getting scholarships in your junior year, can you hold on to those and then apply them once you get to your freshman year in college? I think that's what the question is.
Okay, so when you're applying for them, you have to look and see if, how long it is. Are you applying? Is it saying applying as a junior for your college? Okay, or are you just applying for money that you're going to receive right now as a junior that you can save? Is it a renewable scholarship? Okay, so that's specifically that deals with the actual scholarship provider. It'll give you a time, and it'll tell you also what grade you have to maintain, what GPA you have to maintain, and what you have to do. So when you're looking at that scholarship and you're seeing that what the scholarship provider is giving you, read that fine print and read, is this to be used for me to go into college, or is this to be used for me to have right now?
Okay. I think those were all the questions that we had for Ms. Jacobs. Wonderful presentation. Thank you again, Ms. Jacobs, for being here to present to our junior class. And I know there has been questions about the materials that Ms. Jacobs used, and also this recording itself. It will be available after this workshop. We will make sure to send out those materials to all of our attendees here today. Also, on the chiomegaomega.org website, under programs, under the programs tag, you will find the hashtag CAP landing page. The materials will be available on the hashtag CAP landing page, and this recording will be available via our on YouTube for the Chi Omega Omega YouTube site as well. So there are several ways that for you to refresh yourself on everything that has been spoken about here today. So again, thank you very much. Junior class, I know that you are now prepared to walk into your senior year. Some things for you to think about. over the summer as you progress into your senior year of college. Okay, so we not only want our juniors to hear from our presenter today, but we also want you to hear from the seniors who are going through this process right now. And so we will turn now, I'll share my screen. Let's get back to our agenda for the day. We will turn now to Miss Marissa Spite, who's going to ask our current seniors some questions to help out their junior colleagues. Miss Marissa?
Good morning, everyone. So good to see everyone. And after that wonderful junior presentation from Ms. Jacobs, and before we get into our senior presentation, we just put together a few questions, and we want our seniors to give a little bit of insight for our juniors into their college admissions process, what has worked for them, to help the juniors to hear from actual students who just are doing the same things that they have to do. And so the first question is, what time management tips or strategies can the seniors share for the juniors that help them along in their process? So if you could come off of mute, seniors, or if you can put it in the chat and then someone will share what you're saying. What tips and strategies can you give the juniors that helped you to stay organized and on task to meeting deadlines?
Ms. Robinson has raised her hand.
Go ahead.
So my name is Nia. I'm a senior. So what I do to like keep track of like scholarships and deadlines for colleges is just making a spreadsheet on Google that has like the date, like the date that the scholarships are due or the applications are due, if I have to write essays or not, and if I have to submit test scores and stuff like that.
That is awesome. And that goes along with what Ms. Jacobs said before about a spreadsheet. So that is very important. Anyone else? I see Morgan.
Yes, my name is Morgan Curry. I say a great way to like keep up with scholarships and applications is to make sure that you do at least maybe 1 or 2 every week. So you can just mainly focus on those every week. And once you're done with that, move on to the next. So that way you're able to catch up and be on pace with all your applications.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Morgan. Delaney.
Hi, my name is Delaney Brooks, and I do the same. I do similar things that Nia and Morgan do. I would make a Google Doc too, and like put all of the questions and like prompts that the scholarships or applications have, so I can like see exactly what I have to write and like just keep that in mind, so I can know how many essays I have to do, and I can just like hurry up and get to it.
Thank you, Delaney. Nikayla.
Hello, my name is Nikayla White, and I'm a senior. I agree with what everyone else was stating, but with me, since I'm on my phone constantly, I always set reminders on my phone, like, oh, when is scholarships due, when is applications due, so I can, because we on our phones 24/7, so it's like, let's use our phones for reasonable access. And I always prioritize. It's never a time where you could just, if you're sitting down doing nothing, that is a time for you to be doing scholarships. So never waste time doing nothing, because it's always something for you to do.
I love that. Never waste time doing something. All right. Any more questions? Any more answers for that one question? All right. So the next question, I've heard about the spreadsheets and the Google Sheets that you're keeping, but the next question says, is it better to plan and organize digitally, traditionally, or a combination of both? So is there anyone outside of the Google Sheets that everyone's creating that's doing a bit of both, or using the traditional, like a planner, an actual physical paper planner to help them stay on track? If you could raise your hand or come off mute. Delaney again.
Yeah, I do both. I sometimes like put sticky notes around like my walls or mirrors, so I can like see it and just, prep myself for it. So, and then I'd be on my phone too all day. So it helps when I have both reminders in front of my face.
Good. So a combination of both. Thank you. Delaney. Or was that the same raised hand? Anyone else? Anything in the chat? And I know I'm a combination of both. I do everything on my phone, like I do the reminders for things like 2 days ahead, 40 minutes ahead. I'm always creating reminders, but I also keep a planner. I have a planner for work and I have a planner for personal. So I'm kind of out there a little bit with doing too much, but it works for me. All right, and the last question, how soon should the juniors start in this process? As you all, the seniors, reflect back, how soon should the juniors start in their college admissions process?
I can answer this one.
Nia?
Oh,
No, if Kelly, you can go ahead and finish and then we'll go to Nia.
okay, I'm sorry. My name is Kelly and I'm a senior. I think that the juniors should start their process at the end of their junior year. I highly, highly recommend getting 2 letters of rec, asking your teachers at the end of the year. So by the time your senior year starts, you'll already be on their radar so they can get started writing your letters. I also think that the juniors should start writing their personal statements over the summer and start doing some college research. So by the time the application opens, usually on August 1st, they can go ahead and just start plugging in their information.
Thank you so much. And we have Nia's hand raised. Nia?
Yeah, Kelly said everything I was going to say. Like, when you ask for your letter of recs, you should do it around like May and June, because like in September, the teachers be kind of busy with other students. And then you definitely need to start your personal statement this year as well, so you can get it like reviewed by your counselors or any other adults.
And as a teacher, I just want to say that it's never too early to ask. So, and even I would recommend that you like keep people in mind to show like how you've progressed from like elementary school to high school, not just the high school teachers. Reach back to some of those elementary school teachers because they already see those things in you that you don't see yet. And they will be more than happy to write letters of recommendation for you. Any other comments before I hand it back over? Nia, did you have something else to say?
No, that was an accident.
Okay. Ms. Jacobs has her hand raised. Ms. Jacobs?
Yeah, I love everything that they were saying. And there's one more website that I think would really help, especially when I heard the young lady talk about she's on her phone all the time. Mm-hmm. There is a website called bettermakeroom.org. This was created by First Lady Michelle Obama, and it connects you with other students. It keeps you updated on when to get your FAFSA, getting everything out. So if you're on your phone, you can talk, you're meeting other people, which you're going to start doing once you get into college anyway. It's a good networking thing. And it also provides you information and timelines. So again, it's called bettermakeroom.org.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that's it for the peer advice. We really appreciate it. We heard some great little gems that I hope is helpful for the juniors. And I'm going to pass it back over to Chairman Risa Lanier.
Thank you so much, Ms. Marissa, and thank you to our seniors who shared those nuggets of advice to your junior class. All right, seniors, here we go. What about you? What are the next steps for you? Well, for our senior class, we have Miss Amanda Johnson, who's from the City Colleges of Chicago, who will talk to you about goal setting and what you should be planning for as you step onto those college campuses in this coming fall. Amanda Johnson is a passionate educator with almost 15 years of experience in higher education. She holds an undergraduate degree in business management from Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, and a Master's of Science in Education with a focus in student affairs from Northern Illinois University. Her background spans from teaching to advising to senior leadership. She began her career in for-profit education, working in admissions. Several years ago, she transitioned into public education, where she has found an even stronger fondness in working with and providing resources for underserved communities and students of color. Amanda's greatest accomplishment has been leading the City Colleges of Chicago's predominantly Black institutions grant programs, which provides various avenues to prepare minority students to enter into medical careers. So seniors, I will now turn you over into the capable hands of Miss Amanda Johnson, who will prepare you for your next steps.
Hello, everyone. I am very excited to be here. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I am going to share my screen. Okay, so I am going to talk to you guys today just about how to essentially set some goals for your first year of college. So you guys have, you guys have gotten the information about the FAFSAs and applying and getting those recommendations and all of those steps. So now we're at the point where, hey, soon we'll be making those final decisions on college. And so once we get to college, okay, what next? Like, what do we do? How do we set ourselves up for success? Okay, so I would love for you guys, if you don't have a pen and paper, I'll give you guys a couple seconds to grab some, but I would love for you guys to first take a moment to write down these 6 categories. These are the goal categories that we're going to talk about today. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to grab a pen and paper. If you guys could just maybe put a thumbs up, and Risa, if you can let me know when the students are ready and they've grabbed a pen and paper and they're ready to go, we'll go from there.
Or grab your cell phones and turn to your note screen, however you guys.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. The note screens on the phone works too. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started. So what I want to talk to you guys about is, like I said, the various categories that you want to set goals in while you're in college. I know that typically we think about academics, and we'll absolutely talk about academic goals. But I want to save that obviously for last, as that'll be a little bit more in depth. But I just want to start out talking about some other goals that I think sometimes we might forget about. So I want to start out with health goals. So I know that Ms. Jacobs mentioned earlier that about the freshman 15 or sometimes 30 or a little bit more. When it comes to going to college, you definitely want to think about your health. And I can be a full testament to not paying attention to that could really cause some problems. I was definitely the person who, gained a few pounds in college, but some goals that you guys want to think about is like your fitness goals, like, how often are you guys going to exercise? What is your nutrition going to look like? How much are you drinking water? When you're like in college and you're not thinking about just like these small things, you're like, hey, I'm having fun. Just something simple as hydration is important. Sleep. You're on your own schedule now while you're in college. And when you are there, you don't have anyone telling you to go to sleep at a certain time or to wake up at a certain time. So, having fun with your friends and going to classes and going to events and programs could definitely create some missing out on some sleep time. So something simple as that. Mental health, there are tons of like counseling services, and like you can do meditation or whatever is helpful for that, self-care, and even just like going to like doctor's appointments and dentist appointments. I think being able to set up a plan for what that looks like for you guys. So for the health goals, before we go on to the next slide, I want everyone to come up with just 2 health goals that you guys can set for yourself while you guys are in your first year of college. Just kind of taking this list and thinking, hey, okay, I'll give you guys an example. I don't know, drinking at least a couple bottles of water a day, something like that. So just 2 health goals. And if anyone feels comfortable with sharing, I would love for you guys to maybe put those health goals in the chat box.
Brianna says she's going to get her veggies in.
Okay, love that. Love that. That was one of the things that, and it's so funny because while you think about college, like, hey, it's, you know, it's still college, I'm still young. It really sets a foundation for you going into adulthood. So it's definitely a transition period. So even something simple as getting those veggies in matter.
And Nia's going to drink water before bed and eat a smaller breakfast.
Nice, love that. So these are some of the health goals that were kind of suggested for college, first year college students. Stay hydrated, listen to your body, get 8 hours of sleep. I don't know how much that can happen, but definitely kind of setting that goal for getting as much sleep as possible is great. Exercising, keeping active, eating whole food meals and snacks. It sounds like you guys have created some nice goals so far. Okay, so the next category we're going to talk about a little bit is financial goals. I think when you're a college student, you're just thinking, hey, I don't, you know, what kind of financial goals do I have? Like, what do I need to pay for? Can you guys think of some of the things that you might have to pay for while you're in college? If you guys could just put a couple of those in the chat box.
We've got books, we've got transportation, food, meal plan, hygiene products.
Definitely. All those things are super important. You have to wash your clothes, washing and drying. You actually have to pay for that in college, and most, even if you live in a dorm, that's usually not free, unfortunately. So when it comes to financial goals, you definitely want to think about budgeting. Obviously, not just those toiletries and the main necessities, but also you're going to have fun in college as well. So being able to make sure that you have a plan for that. Saving might come into play if you want a car for next year, or your first year, you know, just starting out, if you don't already have one, or being able to just, maybe you want to get an apartment as an upperclassman. So when you're starting out as a freshman, maybe you start out putting a little bit aside just to kind of get started planning for that. Financial goals with credit cards, like, do you want to get a credit card? Do you want to, how many credit, like, do you want to just get one credit card? And how do you want to pay for that? How are you going to be able to do that? Scholarships. I think a lot of times we plan for scholarships, applying for scholarships before we get to college. But when you actually get there, there are more scholarships to apply for while you're in college. Student loans. Just, you know, sometimes you're gonna, or when you get to college, you might find that a friend of yours might mention, oh, did you know that in the financial aid office, you can like get a student loan on your own or something like that. You want to make sure that you're not taking out unnecessary loans or spending money that you don't need while you're in college. You know, make sure you're saving that for actually when you need it. And some students even create a goal to start paying, like if they have a student loan, to start paying something small, like $20 a month on their interest for their student loans and those kinds of things. So definitely create some financial goals for yourself. These are some goals, these are some examples of financial goals for your first year of college. So building credit is like with the whole credit card. Maybe you can get one credit card if you have a job or something like that. have like a side hustle, like if you can do hair, or if you can do lashes, or something that you're already doing right now. When you get to college, you'll find that a lot of the students need those services. All of those things. So these are just a few things that you can consider investing in something. So, I mean, something really small, like it sounds a lot bigger than what you would think, but just something, you know, I feel like we're in an age where the younger you are, students are really doing some really innovative and amazing things. So these are just some ideas. Social goals. So, and this is a shameless plug for AK, but social goals is a big part of college. I think a lot of times, like I said, you mentioned like the academic goals, those kinds of things. But there are also goals, you want to set goals for how active you want to be in college. Do you want to attend the events? There's like programs and seminars and those kinds of fun things. There are clubs. They have like, you know, African American clubs, and they have clubs geared towards finance and sports and all types of fun things. For clubs that don't exist, you guys can create them a lot of times in college, which is really cool. But being able to say, hey, right now I'm looking at colleges, I know which college I want, let me look and see what clubs they offer. What sororities and fraternities do they offer? If that's something that you might be interested in, then you want to start taking a look at what their requirements are right now. You may not be able to join in your freshman year, but you definitely want to take a look at, okay, this might be something I'm interested in. Let me maybe start going to some events, or let me find out what the requirements are to join, those kinds of things. Sporting events. When it came to college, I mean, I had a really great time when it came to social and academic and all of the areas. I tried to be really well-rounded, but I really enjoyed my college experience. I went to college with my sister, and, you know, I was the person who was kind of going out, enjoying all of the events. I joined my sorority when I was in college, in undergrad. I went to parties, I traveled, I did like road trips, I did the whole college experience. But I also went to college with my sister, and my sister, she was a homebody. She didn't join a sorority while she was in college. She never went to any parties or anything. She didn't join any clubs or anything, but she still had a great college experience. So it just kind of depends on you and what that goal looks like. So I would love for you guys to put in the chat box, maybe if you guys can think of anything that you for sure, some social goals you guys might have for your first year of college.
We've got sororities, joining a club or starting one.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. So these are some social goal examples. You know, making friends, volunteering, joining student organizations. These are some of the goals that you guys can consider when you guys are coming up with your specific goals for your first year. Personal goals. So this is just an area of just like other goals. So we talked about like the social goals, we talked about financial goals, we talked about a bunch of different goals. These are goals that are personal, that are specific to you and your personality and things that you might enjoy. So maybe your personal goal, like maybe you're heavily involved in church right now and you want to find a church home when you get to college, and so that you can go to church on Sundays, or if you want to volunteer, or if you want to get a mentor or become a mentor. Reading outside of like your college assignments and your books for your textbooks, being able to just reading. Whatever your hobby or your personal goals may be, whether it's like learning a new hobby or anything like that, I definitely would love for you guys to think of a couple of personal goals that you guys might have outside of the list of those areas we just talked about. Okay, professional goals. So I know that obviously you're thinking, okay, this is my first year of college. This is supposed to get me to my professional goals. But even in your first year of college, maybe you have like professional goals on like the scale of obviously college. So that's like maybe a goal can be going, most colleges and universities have like a career services department, going to visit them and taking like a career assessment. Maybe you're undecided about what you want your major to be. Or I know we talked a little bit about earlier how sometimes you go to college with one plan and it ends up being a little bit different. So just being able to take a career assessment and see what are some areas that you might be interested in. And so that can help guide your major if you haven't selected one, or if you're not sure and you might want to change it. Internships. I think for me, this is one of the things that I wish I had thought about earlier is if I could do it all over again, I probably would have planned to do an internship every year of my every year that I was in college. So just kind of planning out those internships early, maybe connecting to different organizations, or even like with your career services department, asking them about internships early on, so you can be prepared and set yourself up to be able to do them. A part-time job, if you can handle it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. If that's something that you can handle, if it's something that you think would enhance your experience. My sister, when she started out like she worked every single year that we were in college together. And we talked about, oh, I'm sorry, career assessment is on there. Sorry about that. Work study. So they have through financial aid, the federal work study program, where you can work on campus and get paid while a student. So that's like doing student jobs across campus, or like an entrepreneur. Some of you guys may already like do like YouTube channels or whatever else cool things that you guys are doing. Those are pretty good things to consider when you're thinking about professional goals for your first year of college. Okay, so now we get to the fun stuff, the academic goals. So when you think about academic goals, I know that it's funny seeing like attendance for the first area on this list. But when you get to college, once again, you don't have anyone to tell you that you have to get up in the morning or you have to go to class. Something simple as creating a goal for like going to class every single day and not missing any class is like huge. For me, that was something that was really big and very important when I was in college. Like I said, I have fun. I did a lot of activities, a lot of organizations, a lot of events, a lot of parties, but it didn't matter what was happening. I always made sure that attendance was number one when it came to being at school. I was like, listen, if I can be involved in all of these activities, if I can be involved in these clubs, if I can go to parties and sporting events, then I can go to class. So I always made sure that I, never missed class. So that was a big goal of mine. I had a bunch of friends who, would miss class here and there, but those things matter. So definitely I would say set a goal, not only just going to class every day, but also being on time. So that's super important. GPA. So college is a fresh start. It's a brand new beginning of your academic career. So everybody is starting out on the same path. So if you go into college and you make the decision like, hey, I want to get a 4.0, I want to graduate I want to get all A's, or I want to get all A's and B's, or, you know, you have the ability to create a plan to get there. You're starting out on a completely clean slate. So, I mean, why not set that goal and set yourself up for success? And the way you do that is kind of identifying like tutoring, like what tutoring programs are available on campus. So finding that out early. Don't wait until you're struggling and then you're looking for tutoring and you have an exam coming up in 1 week or something like that. Find those things out early so you know what resources are available on campus for you to make sure that you're successful. Studying. Set some goals for studying. When I was in high school, I wasn't a big study person. Like, a lot of things would come fairly easy to me and I could remember a lot. But when I got to college, those poor studying habits from high school carried over. So I had to rethink this whole process and create a plan for, hey, what am I going to do to make sure that I'm successful? So that may mean studying an hour a day. That may mean, studying, more time. Some studying goals that you want to create is where you want to study. Like, hey, maybe like for me, I had to be away from my dorm room in order to study. I wanted to be like away from my friends, away from my sister, away from my room. I wanted to study in the library. I had to be in a quiet space, alone, sometimes with friends or with classmates or whatever. But I wanted to set up a goal. So that's super important to identify, okay, what am I going to do with studying? Homework. You have the ability to do your assignments right away, or you have the ability to wait to right before. You want to set up a plan where you're not putting yourself under a lot of stress. Just set up a plan for, hey, right after I get the assignment, I'm going to make sure that after this class, I'm going to get started on this homework. Or every day after all my classes are done, I'm going to get my homework done before I, go and do any kind of socializing or anything like that. Whatever your goal is and whatever is going to help you to be successful. Another piece of academic goals is what's called SAP. And you guys may have heard this in the financial aid workshop, or you definitely will hear it. But SAP is satisfactory academic progress. And that's a term that's used when you have financial aid. In order to keep your financial aid, you have to meet specific academic goals, benchmarks that are set by the US government. And that's completion rates and a certain GPA that you have to have, and the maximum time frame that you are, or the maximum hours that you can take in order to keep your financial aid. So if you are getting financial aid, it's not just like you got it and you can keep it. Completion rate, 67% of hours attempted. So that means that you have to pass most of your classes. Of course, the goal is to pass them all. But in order to, financial aid is watching that. So if you come in your first year or your first semester of college, and this happens so often where it's such a transition and students kind of like over enjoy their freedom, then you potentially could be put on academic probation and, potentially lose your financial aid if you don't make sure that you are on top of it. GPA, a lot of them have 2.0 GPA requirements. Sometimes it's a lot higher than that. But typically that's usually where you want to stay at minimum to keep your financial aid. And maximum hours. Students must complete degree programs before meeting 150% of the number of credits. So that means if it takes, let's say, for example, 100 credit hours to graduate with your degree, that means that you can't go over 150% of that and continue to get financial aid. Once you get to that 150% mark, you're done. They will not give you any more financial aid. So these are just a few academic goals to think about. And I would love for you guys to put in the chat box, what are some academic goals that you guys can think of before I go to more academic goals?
Don't procrastinate.
Oh, definitely, for sure. You definitely don't want to procrastinate. Love that one.
Learn effective study habits.
Definitely. Study skills is something you definitely have to figure out. If you don't have them early on, it's something you have to learn, and you have to obviously implement for you, but it's so important because they're going to be the difference in, in being successful or not.
Communicate with your professors.
Definitely. And I think we'll talk about that on the next slide. I think I'll go on to the next one on that point, actually. Are there any more? Okay, great, perfect timing. So meet with your instructor. So I'm so happy that that one was mentioned, because a lot of times, and I have this happen all the time with my students at city colleges, I'll have students who are struggling and they will not meet with their instructors. They will meet with everyone outside of their instructors. And I'm like, hey, your instructor is the best person. That's the first point of contact. That's the person who's giving out the grades. They're the person who's giving out the assignments, giving out the notes, all of those things. So I always say that's number one. So if you're struggling, or even before you struggle, just making sure that your instructor knows who you are. Because when your instructor knows who you are and they know, hey, this person took the time to come and meet me, this person took the time to connect with me, this person is trying to get more information or trying to learn, those things are so important, because instructors, they want you to win. They do, or they should. In most cases, they want you to win, because that when students do well in their class, it looks well for them too. So when you are reaching out to them, a lot of times students won't say anything to them for the whole semester. They have office hours that you guys want to be sure to utilize. So you definitely want to do that. Time management. So I think we talked a little bit about time management earlier, with being able to create, whether that's setting reminders on your phone, for using a planner. We talked about that. Organization. So being able to have a system, I can count. There was a ton of times where I've seen where students, just something simple as like grabbing the wrong books or materials before a class and like not being prepared. But just staying organized can really help being successful, or creating a plan for how you're going to stay organized is so important. Study abroad. So maybe one of your academic goals is study abroad. Okay, we may not be doing that in our first year of college, but if that's something that you want to do, then now is the time to create the goal of finding out what those steps are. So one of the recurring things I want you guys to hear from or get from this presentation is planning early and creating a plan or setting a goal for things that you want early on. So whether that's, hey, I want to study abroad in Paris, maybe at some point, well, what do I have to do in order to, are there GPA requirements? What you don't want to happen is to get to like your junior year and say, oh, they have a study abroad program. Oh, wait, but I don't meet the requirements, or I don't have enough money, or I can't go because of whatever these reasons are. When early on you could say, hey, this is something I want to do. So maybe on your checklist, you're putting down, go and visit the study abroad office or website and find out what are those requirements, so that I can set myself up for success now. Meet with your advisor. Okay, so this is super huge, very, very huge. You want to meet with your advisor, because your advisor is going to help you to stay on track. When it comes to graduating, I've heard a ton of people tell me, oh, I was so close to graduating, I have this many credit hours. Or I couldn't graduate because, whatever the case is, they took the wrong classes. Well, when you're in college, in order for you to graduate, it's not about it's not always just the number of credit hours. That's one of the requirements. But usually it's also specific classes that you have to take. And it's not just those classes, but sometimes it's the order and how you take those classes. So maybe for your freshman year, you have to take English 101, and then, or for your first semester, you're taking English 101, but in the second semester, you need to take English 102, but those may be requirements for other things or other classes. So you want to meet with your advisor to work on a degree plan and choosing classes so that you're choosing the correct classes for your major. So I've added a sample degree plan. Can you guys tell me how many of you guys have seen a degree plan in the chat box? If you guys have seen a degree plan, go ahead and put yes or no in the chat box.
We've got lots of no's coming through.
Okay. Okay, so I'm happy that I share this. Okay, so I'm going to pull up this degree plan. I chose biology as and what a degree plan is, it's a list of courses that are required to complete your degree. So if you guys can see, it says there's a program, a suggested program for biology majors, and it has like for undergraduate curriculum guide, and it has every class that is required for biology at Howard University. So you'll see like in the first semester, it's freshman English, freshman orientation, pre-calculus, general biology, general chemistry. The second semester, you see it's like general chemistry 2, biology 2. All of these things maybe so there are full degree plans that are created so that students can know specifically what classes you have to take. Well, in order for you to take general chemistry 2, biology 2, you probably have to complete biology 1. That's probably one of the prerequisites in order to take that. And so a lot of times the classes go in a specific order so that you can take them. So for example, if you take chemistry 1, then you take chemistry 2 in your second semester, that might prepare you to be able to take organic chemistry 1 and then organic chemistry 2. So let's just say if you're selecting classes and you're like, hey, I don't want to take any science classes in my first semester. I want to just start out with all, I don't know, whatever classes that maybe you enjoy. That potentially could harm you for the classes that you need prior to, or after. So what you want to do is one of the big things you want to do is find out what your degree plan looks like, what a curriculum guide, sometimes they call it degree plan, degree audits, curriculum guides. Do you guys have any questions about this plan that I'm showing you guys right now? And it has freshman year, so like some first semester, second semester, sophomore year. And you of course, you can adjust it if you're taking summer classes, if you want to graduate sooner. It has junior year, senior year, so it has all the years, and you want to get this created early on in your first year. Some schools come up with it, like Howard already has it created for their students, but some schools, unfortunately, do not. So that brings us back to meeting with your advisor. Your advisor can help you create one of these plans if they don't have one specifically for your degree plan at the school that you decide to attend, because unfortunately all schools do not offer them or have them available. Was there any questions about any of these areas? Or the degree plan specifically?
We had one question, but I believe you answered it. The question was, would we find the degree plan on the college website?
Yes, so, yep, definitely. So usually on the college website, so for example, if I wanted to find that degree plan, I would search Howard biology degree plan, or degree requirements is another way to search it. Usually when you go to the major page, like the psychology, you can go to like the psychology page. And usually what you'll see is you'll see some general education requirements. That's like English and math and science. And then you'll see your major requirements, which, let's say if your major is psychology, you'll see a bunch of psychology classes. Sometimes you'll see some major options, like where you can choose some things that you're interested in and some electives. So that's usually what you're going to see on your degree plan. If you have a school, if you go to your school's website that you decide to select, and let's say they have all the listed requirements, but they don't have it set up so clear, first semester, second semester, freshman year, sophomore year, like Howard does, then you can work with your advisor to put one together. Or, in some cases, if you can follow, hey, if you can, look at the classes and see what the prerequisites are to take the classes, and you are able to put one together, you can put it together and then bring it to your advisor and ask them, hey, what do you think about this? Will this allow me to graduate in 4 years? When I went to college, I had taken some early classes when I was some classes from city colleges, actually. So I was able to set up my degree plan where I graduated in 3 years, because I took some classes in summer and I had already taken some classes before I went to college. So I wanted to save money. I didn't want to pay for 4 years of college. So I decided to set the goal to graduate a little bit earlier. You get to create your plan how you want. When they have the degree plans like this, these are like, I'm sure you guys saw at the top, it was a suggested, because some students take more classes, some students take less classes, depending on what you can handle. So a full-time schedule for your first year is typically, if usually students will take 15 credit hours for a traditional full-time schedule, but some students might take more. You might take 17, you might take less. 12 hours is like the minimum to be a full-time student. Okay, so that's that. So these are some academic goal examples. That I have provided. So that is pretty much it. I want to now work together on creating what I know we put together some ideas in the chat box on some different goals. I would love to work together with you guys on creating some absolute mandatory goals that we all want to work together on for our first year. So I would love for you guys to, instead of, and I'm sorry, I stopped sharing, but I want you guys to just kind of come off mute, maybe raise your hand, and let's chat out loud about what we can do, what we all want to set as some absolute mandatory first year goals for our first year of college. Let's see. You can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand and talk aloud. Either works. What would you guys say is like an absolute mandatory, like we have to do this, just from like the presentation and the things that we discussed? I know you guys talked about some of the things you guys want to do.
Delaney?
From the presentation, we were talking about personal goals. I saw mentor, and I don't know why, but I really love like the mentor-mentee relationship because I think that they advocate really well for you and that they help you network. So I would most definitely like find a mentor.
I love that one so much. And I'll say this, one of my really good friends mentioned this to me, I want to say just a few months ago. She's in her career now and she still has a mentor. And she was like, if I could do one thing over just my entire life, I would have gotten a mentor in college early on. I would have connected with, the department majors or some on campus, different connections on the campus, the Black Student Union or the different people on campus and really connect and get a mentor early on. So I love that one. Having a mentor and keeping a mentor definitely makes a huge difference. That, having someone who's been there or having someone who has like clear direction or who can help you can absolutely make a huge difference in success. So I'm seeing quite a few in the chat box. Plan ahead and prioritize. Definitely planning ahead. So I think the goal when it came to just kind of thinking about what your first year goals look like. So in college, you have so many opportunities and so many different things that you can do, so many paths you can take. So it's really just creating, what does that path look like for you? Love the idea of a spreadsheet. And I think that we all should take some time to add on, or if we have a spreadsheet, or to create a spreadsheet if we don't, or checklist of what are some areas in those different areas, what goals do we want to accomplish? Keeping open lines of communication with the professors, make schedules for myself or proper time management. Love all of these. So that is all that I have. If you guys have any questions, you guys can go ahead and ask.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Miss Amanda, for that wonderful presentation to get our seniors prepared for their first year of college. I absolutely love and echo the idea of meeting with your college advisor your freshman year. First thing you do when you step on campus, meet with that college advisor so that you can make a plan for yourself. You don't want to be floundering around come your senior year and saying, oh no, I missed a class. So you make sure you want to have that at the very least, have that as your number one item to do when you get to college. Know what classes you have to take, know what classes are prerequisites for your majors so that you can have that plan in place. Wonderful presentations. We'd like to thank not only Miss Amanda, but also Miss Carol Jacobs for speaking to our students on this morning. We're not done quite yet. We did have an icebreaker that we did earlier. So we're going to bring back Miss Dion, who will tell us our 5 students who won the icebreaker.
Good morning again. We're almost into afternoon. I have those 5 students that have basically had listed most of the phrases and the goal setting search. The first student is Kennedy Cousin. Let's give her a round of applause. Kelly Waddleton, Kieran Bailey, Brianna Passmore, and Trevor Kidd. Let's give them all a wonderful round of applause for winning the word search challenge.
And for all of our winners, look forward to receiving something in your email addresses to thank you for your participation. Thank you for everyone's participation, but look forward to receiving a gift card in your inbox in the next couple of days. All right, so let's move on So one thing that I do want everyone to do right now before we talk about what's coming up, grab your cell phones. I know they are right next to you. Grab your cell phones, open up your camera app and point it to this QR code so that our survey will pop up. And as we talk about what you can look forward to with #CAP, you can also fill out our survey and give us feedback on this presentation here today. So I'll give you all a moment to do that. Pull out your phones, open up that camera app, point it at the screen, and it'll say, tap here to go to the docs.google.com. You tap on that and it'll bring right up our survey for today's presentation. So please make sure you are filling out that survey and giving us some feedback so that when we do present these workshops in the future, if you are freshmen, if you are juniors and you're moving on to your senior year, but you're staying here with our #CAP program, we want to make sure that we are meeting your needs in the upcoming school year. And of course, seniors, we want to make sure that we hear from you to help us plan for the next school year. So again, take that phone, open your camera app and point it directly at this QR code and it will bring up our survey. So please take a moment to fill out that survey. I'll give you just a couple more seconds to point it at the QR code. All right, and I know those phones are sitting right next to you. We heard from a student earlier who said that they're always on their phones. They're attached to their hands. All right. Looking ahead, in our upcoming months, as we close out this school year, next month, we want everyone to come back and join us for our Financial Aid Award Letters and Building Good Credit seminar. One of the most important seminars that we will be putting on this year is talking about and deciphering those financial aid award letters that are coming in for you all. What does those award letters really mean in terms of paying for the college of your choice? We will bring you an expert who will talk about financial aid award letters, how to read them, what they mean, what they don't mean, and how as a student, you can go and advocate for yourself to get more money should you need more money, and also other available resources on your college campus. And of course, while we're talking about you picking up debt, we also have to talk about you building good credit. Now, as you're going into debt, how can you use that to your advantage to build good credit? Today, so Miss Amanda did talk to you about financial goals and building good credit. What can you do as a student to prepare yourself for the workforce and building that good credit, to have the ability to go out and get an apartment once you graduate, to get a job, to get a house? So what can you do now to build a good credit foundation and ensure that the debt that you are incurring is actually working for you? We will bring that to you in March. So please stay tuned. Everyone who is registered for this workshop, whether you are a part of #CAP or not, will receive an invitation to join us in March. In April, we will have a college panel. We will bring to you current students who are attending our predominantly white institutions, as well as HBCUs, who will come and present a moderated college panel to get all of our students thinking about and ready for college. We will do that in April, which is really important because we know that those letters are rolling in, your acceptance letters are rolling in. So you'll be able to hear from students who are currently on these college campuses who will talk to you about student life and about their experiences to help you choose the college that is best for you as you are getting those acceptance letters in. In May, we'll celebrate with our seniors with Decision Day and have you unveil the college of your choice, and there will be activities around that. And then in June is our graduation and trunk party for our seniors. We're of course inviting all of our students, all of our juniors, all of our parents to join us in March, April, May, and June for our events. All right. All right, everybody got that? Mark that down. Once more, I'm just going to pop back to this QR code just in case you didn't get an opportunity to click on that. Just one additional opportunity to pull out your cameras. And then we will move on to our final slide, which will be closing remarks from our Vice President of Chi Omega Omega chapter and the Imani Pearls Community Development Foundation. Thank you all for joining us here today. Let me make sure I'm sharing my sound. 1 second. I want to make sure I'm sharing the sound here so everyone can hear this. All right, here we go.
Greetings. I am Tasha Smith, Vice President of Chi Omega Omega Chapter and the Imani Pearls Community Development Foundation. On behalf of our Program Target Chairman and the entire committee, we would like to thank you for your participation in today's program, and we truly hope that you were empowered. Chi Omega Omega Chapter and the Imani Pearls Community Development Foundation takes pride in providing quality programs in the communities we serve in the areas of education, women's health care and wellness, financial literacy, the arts, and global impact. For more programs, please visit our website at chiomegaomega.org or ipcdf.org. And as a bonus, if you see our QR code, please click on it and donate today. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
That concludes today's program. Thank you everyone for coming, and we will see you soon in March. Thank you.